President Biden is facing criticism for his comments about the 2 FBI agents shot and killed in the line of duty yesterday. The agents were serving a warrant in a child pornography and crimes against children investigation when a man opened fire after spotting the FBI agents on his security camera. The Bureau has identified the 2 agents, 43-year-old Laura Schwarzenberger, 36-year-old David Alphen. 3 others were wounded. This is what President Biden said yesterday.
They put their lives on the line, and it's a hell of a price to pay. And every single day, every one of these folks get up and by and large, the vast majority of these men and women are decent, honorable people who put themselves on the line. We owe them.
Why the need to say vast majority in the context of mourning 2 down, 3 wounded at least? Charles?
A large part of his constituents have been anti-law enforcement. Let's be honest about it. And I think he's trying to thread that needle, maybe trying to refer to an index card for the right words. You saw him fumbling there, and it really is a shame in that particular moment to sort of quantify who's good and who's not good amongst the men and women who protect us every single day. But he's struggled. It's pretty clear that there's a large constituents out there that, listen, we're all against police brutality. We're all against abuse of power. About this man and woman who were brutally murdered. Listen, and if you want to be political, you have to say, this person was a person of interest in a heinous crime. They sent a much larger force to arrest the Roger Stone than they did this person. So Christopher Wray needs to be questioned on this as well. But I really wish Joe Biden would sometimes just let his guard down and just talk to us without worrying about checking off the boxes of everyone that he's got to assuage every time he opens his mouth. He has in the past.
Remember, Charles? He was the consoler-in-chief to be, as people talked about him, as he was talking, Kennedy, about COVID-19. It was part of what made him successfully connect with people's hearts who were really suffering in the pandemic. Not just those with the disease, but some of the small businesses. If you want to talk and use the word most, how about most Americans who are living in restricted areas of lockdowns, the suffering that was really going on? He had made that connection. Why suddenly the qualifiers on, the arbitration of who's a good guy and who's a bad guy?
Because he, like the Republican Party, both parties are split at the seams, and you have 2 factions in each party, and he is trying to appeal to a very angry faction, and there are a lot of progressives who see some of the cabinet posts that President Biden has nominated and confirmed so far, and they're not happy. So they have to do whatever they can, this administration, to appease progressives. And, that means really parsing words and making sure that, by saying something decent, you are not offending the squad, God forbid.
Tomi, saying something decent just to say something decent. I think you can take care of the squad or whomever you got to take care of later, maybe? I don't know. Who's running the show anyway?
Well, that's a good question. Every time I see our President Biden speak, in the rare times that we actually do see him speak and address press or address anyone for that matter, you see him being very calculated and very concerned about what's going to come out of his mouth, probably because there's usually a gaffe on the tip of his tongue, so he's being very careful not to mess up there. But also, he is being controlled by the radical left. He's being controlled by the squad. He's being controlled by BLM, Antifa. He doesn't want to ruffle those feathers, so he is being very careful. But you know what? This is no different than what Barack Obama did in Dallas, Texas, when we lost those 5 officers that were slain at a BLM protest in 2017 or 2016. Barack Obama did the same thing at their memorial service, talking about, those that have died because of police brutality, and couldn't even take a minute to just talk about those 5 officers. So Biden has certainly been trained well in that. It frustrates me, the double talk out of both sides of the mouth with the liberals and the Democrats, because on one hand, we watch this beautiful memorial for Officer Sicknick in the Capitol, and we talk, the Democrats Democrats talk about how awful it was that these Trump supporters did that. I agree. But then on the other side of their mouth, they're still demonizing law enforcement. So which is it? Please just be consistent. Either you support law enforcement or you don't, but you don't pick and choose when it fits your agenda.
All right, Emily, we'll see you on the flip leading stuff.